The competence trap, when skill becomes a strategic blind spot. Have you ever been confident in a decision only to realize later that you completely misread the situation? Sometimes the problem isn't lack of skill. Sometimes the problem is too much confidence in the skills that worked before. Competence is usually seen as an advantage. Experience builds skill, skill builds confidence, and confidence allows people to move quickly. But under pressure, competence can quietly become a trap. The abilities that once helped someone navigate difficult situations can begin to limit how they interpret new ones. When people become highly competent in a particular environment, they develop reliable patterns. They know what usually works, and over time, this familiarity becomes automatic. Most of the time, that efficiency is valuable, but it does come with a hidden cost. The mind begins to assume that today's terrain is the same as yesterday's. Success reinforces patterns. When a decision works, the brain records the pathway that produced it. And over time, these pathways become trusted shortcuts. People stop examining the underlying assumptions because the results appear to confirm them. But success can hide important changes. A strategy that worked yesterday may continue working just long enough to build confidence, right before the environment shifts. When that happens, competence can become a filter that prevents new signals from being recognized. Pressure amplifies this effect. When time feels limited and consequences feel large, people naturally rely more heavily on what they already know. They default to familiar solutions. They trust established methods, and they move faster. But you see, speed under pressure can reinforce the competence trap because the system never pauses long enough to notice that the terrain has changed. Just like other forms of decision distortion, the competence trap operates across the entire human system. Mentally, the brain favors familiar patterns. Emotionally, confidence in past success discourages doubt. And somatically, the body settles into routines that once felt reliable. The nervous system relaxes into what it believes is familiar territory. Together, these signals create the feeling that the situation is under control, even when it may not be. Competence is not only a skill, it often becomes part of one's identity. People begin to see themselves as a successful founder, a capable leader, a skilled strategist. And that identity can create stability. But it can also create resistance to new information. Because recognizing that the terrain has changed may also mean acknowledging that the old approach no longer applies. For many people, that realization is uncomfortable. So the mind quietly protects the existing model instead. The competence trap is not about incompetence. It is about misalignment between skill and terrain. When the environment changes, the most dangerous assumption is that the old map still applies. Clarity returns when people pause long enough to question the frameworks they are using. Not to abandon their competence, but to update it. Experience is valuable, but only when it remains flexible and adaptable. Because true competence is not just the ability to act, it is the ability to recognize when the terrain has changed. Take what you need, and when you are ready, step back into the world.